Imagine transforming your life completely by developing habits that give you unstoppable energy, focus, and clarity every single day. In this audiobook, you're about to discover 10 life-changing chapters that will guide you step by step toward mastering your mornings, committing to daily learning, eliminating distractions, practicing gratitude, exercising consistently, tracking progress, prioritizing sleep, reflecting daily, setting clear goals, and challenging yourself to grow beyond limits. Every principle here is practical, actionable, and designed to make you stronger, smarter, and more disciplined. This video is ad-free, so you can fully immerse yourself in every second without interruption. Hit that subscribe button and join our community where we upload powerful audiobooks every single day to help you upgrade your mindset, habits, and life. Don't just watch, commit to change, follow every chapter, and watch your life transform completely. Chapter 1. Master your mornings to start each day with purpose. The first hour after waking is a test that decides the tone of the entire day. How that hour is handled separates people who react and drift from people who act with intention and keep control. The morning is not a ritual for show or an item on a to-do list. It is the foundation that supports every choice that follows. A steady morning routine is a simple way to win repeatedly without needing miracles. It trains the mind to prefer what is disciplined over what is easy and to value consistency more than short-lived motivation. Begin by preparing the night before. Place 1 glass of water by the bed and set out the clothes for the morning. Put the phone in another room or on airplane mode with the alarm across the room. These small pre-commitments reduce friction and remove early decisions that drain willpower. When the alarm goes off, get out of bed immediately and stand barefoot on the floor for 10 seconds. Feel the weight of your body and the temperature of the room. That moment of awareness is a mental pivot from sleep to action. This practice is simple and brutal in its effectiveness because it removes the comfortable pause that is easy to use as an excuse. Drink the water slowly and notice its taste. Hydration wakes the body and clears brain fog. Follow the water with deep breathing for 5 slow, full breaths. Breathe in for a count of 4, hold for 2, and exhale for 6. This pattern calms the nervous system and brings attention back to the present. After breathing, move with intention. A short series of body movements is enough to flood the system with oxygen and end the lingering heaviness of sleep. Stand and perform 2 minutes of simple movements such as arm swings, hip rotations, and slow squats. Feel muscles stretching and blood beginning to move. This is not about a long workout, it is about signaling to the body that the day is underway. Exposure to natural light within the first 30 minutes resets circadian rhythm and sharpens focus. Stand by a window, step outside for 60 seconds or open a curtain and let sunlight hit the face. The skin will register the change and the brain will receive a signal that daytime has begun. Combine this with a quick face splash of cool water or a brief cold shower if feasible. The cold is a clear physical reminder that comfort is not the aim. It agitates alertness, increases circulation, and trains tolerance. It is not required to be extreme. A 30-second splash has measurable effects. A short, focused practice of mental preparation is the next step. 5 to 10 minutes of journaling clears the fog and provides direction. Use 3 short prompts. First, write 3 things that must be completed today that will move life forward. Keep these tasks specific, measurable, and realistically challenging. Second, note 1 possible obstacle and the concrete action you will take if that obstacle appears. Third, write 1 sentence of commitment to guide behavior for the day. This structure creates intention, clarity, and contingency planning. It trains the mind to be proactive rather than reactive. Avoid the phone and news during the first hour. Scrolling is attention theft, and it hands momentum to other people's priorities. Replace that habit with a 15-minute period of focused work on the most important task of the day. This is the principle of first things. The first energy block should be reserved for effort that requires concentration and creative input. Use a timer set for 60 to 90 minutes and work without interruption. This creates deep work and produces progress that compounds. Nutrition matters, but keep the morning meal simple and disciplined. Start with quality protein water and whole food. A quick option could be 2 boiled eggs and a piece of fruit, or a high-protein yogurt with nuts. Avoid sugary drinks and heavy pastries that spike energy and crash focus. If appetite is low, a small protein shake paired with water is better than skipping fuel entirely. The goal is steady energy, not indulgence. Design a morning routine that fits your life and then protect it. 3 example templates adapt to different time budgets. If 30 minutes are available, use 5 minutes for hydration and breathing, 10 minutes for movement and exposure to light, and 15 minutes for journaling and planning. If 60 minutes are available, add a 15 to 30-minute focused work block after planning. If 90 minutes are available, include a longer workout or reading session and extend the deep work block to 90 minutes. The specific activities matter less than the structure. The routine must be practiced consistently for at least 21 days to become habitual, but the stronger target is 90 days as a meaningful change in behavior forms. Habit stacking is a practical tool to make new morning behaviors stick. Attach a new tiny habit to an existing reliable action. For example, after placing the glass of water on the nightstand, commit to drinking it immediately on waking. After brushing teeth, commit to writing 1 sentence of gratitude. After opening the curtain, commit to 1 minute of breathing. The chain of linked actions reduces resistance because each step cues the next. Create rules that protect the routine. Rule 1. Do not check social media or email before completing the first work block. Rule 2. Do not make major decisions before physical movement and hydration. Rule 3. Treat the first major task as non-negotiable and time block it. Firm rules eliminate negotiation with self and remove daily debate. They transform vague intentions into enforceable standards. Prepare for common obstacles. When sleep is poor, a lighter version of the routine is still powerful. Hydration, breathing, light movement, and a short planning session maintain momentum even on weak mornings. When time is limited, compress the practice into 2 powerful acts. Hydration plus 1 focused 25-minute work session using the Pomodoro method. When resistance is fierce, use the 2-minute rule. Commit to 2 minutes of the most difficult action and then continue. Often the initial movement dissolves resistance and the practice extends far beyond 2 minutes. Accountability accelerates habit formation. Share your morning commitment with one person or join a small group where each person reports daily progress. A simple morning check-in by text or voice message increases adherence. Another method is to track the habit visibly. Use a calendar and place a clear mark for each successful morning. The streak becomes a motivating visual that is harder to break than to continue. Tone and language used in internal dialogue matter greatly. Replace self-criticism with factual statements and plans. Instead of saying, "I am lazy," say, "The fact that happened is I skipped my routine," and then state the next corrective step. Stoic practice centers on control of judgment and the acceptance of events, while insisting on disciplined response. Morning failures are data points, not indictments. Examine them honestly, adjust the method, remove unnecessary friction, and continue. Consistency matters more than perfection. The sensory elements of the morning routine help anchor memory and emotion. Notice the sound of the alarm, its timbre and volume. Notice the feel of the floor underfoot, the coolness of water on the face, the smell of coffee or the taste of water. Use these sensory cues as anchors for presence. Over time, the brain associates these sensations with readiness and focus. The ritual becomes a signal that the day has begun and that the person is prepared. Practical shortcuts increase the routine's longevity. Batch: prepare breakfast the night before. Choose a single outfit for important mornings and keep a short list of prioritized tasks ready to go. Use a single priority task list, not a sprawling to-do list. Limit the morning planning to 3 high-leverage items. Systems reduce decision fatigue and free willpower for meaningful choices later in the day. The morning routine is also a quiet place for mental training. 10 minutes of reading on a subject that builds character or competence compounds over months. Choose material that is practical and grounded. A short read on Stoic principles, discipline, or a relevant technical skill reshapes perspective. These readings do not need to be long, they must be consistent. Daily investment in small amounts of high-quality learning produces vast improvement. A final practical element is review and adapt. Spend 5 minutes at the end of the week reflecting on what worked, what did not, and why. Keep what is useful, discard what is not, and iterate. Small adjustments preserve momentum. Over time, the routine should feel increasingly effortless because it is aligned with values and capacity. In the end, control over the morning is control over the first domino of the day. Mastering the morning is not an exercise in special effects or self-flagellation. It is a continuous practice of choosing what is within control and making disciplined action the default. The morning is the laboratory where habits are built and tested. Show up to that laboratory with clarity, intention, and compassion for the process. The result will be repeated victories, small consistent choices that accumulate into real transformation. Every morning practiced with discipline is a quiet move toward a stronger life. Chapter 2. Commit to daily learning to grow your mind continuously. Daily learning is the engine that drives personal growth and resilience. The human mind is designed to adapt and expand, yet without intentional effort it stagnates. Knowledge alone is not enough. Consistent practice and application of learning separates those who evolve from those who drift through life. Committing to daily learning is a declaration that you will not allow your mind to remain idle or confined to outdated patterns. Every day is an opportunity to absorb, process, and act on new information that reshapes thinking and opens doors that were previously unseen. Start by choosing a core area to focus on. This could be a professional skill, personal development, emotional intelligence, or understanding human behavior. Focusing deeply in one area allows the mind to develop connections, recognize patterns, and build expertise. Daily learning does not have to be complicated or time-consuming. 15 to 30 minutes of deliberate study is enough when practiced consistently. Short bursts of concentrated effort create compound growth that far outpaces sporadic, unstructured learning. Set clear intentions before beginning each session. Ask yourself what you want to gain and why it matters. This mental framing transforms passive reading or listening into active acquisition. Avoid consuming information without purpose. Treat every book, podcast, or article as a tool for transformation rather than entertainment. When information is applied immediately, it cements neural pathways and shifts knowledge into practical skill. Writing notes or summarizing in your own words is a simple yet powerful method to enhance retention. Diversify your sources but maintain depth. Read widely across disciplines, but avoid scattering attention too thinly. A balance of breadth and depth builds both versatility and mastery. For example, studying psychology can improve understanding of people, while learning financial literacy develops personal empowerment. Combining these areas creates a strong foundation for problem-solving and decision-making. Over time, The accumulation of diverse knowledge creates a perspective few possess and allows faster recognition of opportunities and risks. Active engagement is essential. Passive consumption leads to forgetfulness and shallow understanding. Take notes, ask questions, and discuss new ideas with others. Testing knowledge through teaching or explaining concepts strengthens understanding. When concepts are challenged or questioned, the mind is forced to clarify and refine ideas, solidifying learning. Even if immediate application seems unnecessary, mental rehearsal and reflection keep the knowledge alive and usable. Set a consistent time for learning each day. This removes decision fatigue and strengthens the habit. Early morning is ideal for many because the mind is fresh, energy is high, and distractions are minimal. Even 10 minutes at a time is more effective than sporadic hours scattered across the week. Consistency compounds. Daily learning is a statement to yourself that growth is a non-negotiable part of life, not something that happens occasionally when convenient. Incorporate varied learning methods. Reading is fundamental, but listening to audiobooks, watching lectures, practicing skills, and writing reflections all activate different cognitive pathways. The combination reinforces understanding and improves memory. For example, listening to an audiobook on strategy, then writing a practical plan based on insights, activates auditory, visual, and kinesthetic learning simultaneously. This multisensory approach accelerates growth and ensures knowledge sticks. Apply what you learn immediately. Knowledge without action is wasted potential. Identify small, concrete ways to implement insights into daily life. If studying emotional intelligence, practice active listening and empathy with others. If learning productivity methods, redesign your daily schedule to prioritize high-value tasks. Every application of knowledge reinforces learning and builds confidence. The mind evolves fastest when ideas are tested in the real world, creating feedback loops that guide improvement. Reflection is a critical component of growth. At the end of each learning session, pause and consider what you absorbed, what questions remain, and how you can use the knowledge tomorrow. Reflection transforms raw information into wisdom. It also strengthens self-awareness, helping identify patterns of thinking that may limit potential. Journaling thoughts and lessons further enhances understanding and creates a record of progress to track over time. Avoid distractions and multitasking. Focused attention amplifies learning far more than scattered efforts. Silence notifications, create a dedicated space, and commit fully to the learning session. Quality of attention matters more than quantity of time. The mind cannot absorb deeply while divided, and shallow engagement produces false confidence in understanding. True growth requires patience, deliberate focus, and a refusal to rush the process. Surround yourself with a growth-oriented environment. Engage with people who value knowledge, challenge your thinking, and encourage consistent effort. Environment shapes behavior. Spending time with those who embrace learning increases accountability and motivation. Share insights, debate concepts, and encourage feedback. A supportive network reinforces the habit of daily learning and provides diverse perspectives that accelerate mental expansion. Measure progress to stay motivated. Track hours spent, topics mastered, or skills applied. Celebrate milestones without letting complacency creep in. Reflection and measurement provide clarity on what works and what requires adjustment. Awareness of progress fuels momentum and keeps commitment strong, even when motivation fluctuates. Curiosity is the spark for sustained learning. Cultivate genuine interest in understanding how the world works and why people behave as they do. Curiosity motivates self-directed exploration and creates joy in the process. Approach learning as an adventure rather than a chore. Even challenging or uncomfortable subjects are valuable because they stretch comprehension and develop resilience. Recognize obstacles and plan for them. Fatigue, distraction, and lack of motivation are inevitable. Prepare alternative strategies such as switching formats, breaking sessions into smaller intervals, or pairing learning with physical activity. Discipline is strengthened by overcoming resistance. The ability to continue learning even when inconvenience separates consistent achievers from those who drift. Integrate learning with other daily habits. Combine it with exercise, morning routines, or commute time to ensure continuity. Habit stacking reduces friction and makes the practice automatic. Over time, learning becomes as natural as brushing teeth or drinking water. Small, consistent efforts create massive cumulative effects that redefine capability and potential. Understand that mastery is a journey, not a destination. Daily learning is not about consuming every book or video, but about continual refinement of the mind and self. Each day contributes to a larger mosaic of growth, resilience, and capability. Embrace the process with patience and persistence. Temporary setbacks are opportunities to adjust strategies and reinforce discipline. Daily learning is a declaration of control over your life. It is a commitment to growth, resilience, and purpose. Each session is an investment in yourself, compounding over weeks, months, and years. The habit transforms not only knowledge but mindset, confidence, and perception of possibilities. Over time, the mind becomes sharper, decisions more informed, and life more aligned with intentional goals. The practice requires courage. It demands showing up even when tired, uninterested, or overwhelmed. Courage is not absence of fear, but persistence in spite of it. The daily commitment to learn develops mental toughness, focus, and an unstoppable drive to improve. Knowledge becomes armor, insight becomes strategy, and action becomes habit. Ultimately, committing to daily learning is a declaration that life is not to be drifted through, but actively shaped. It is a promise to oneself that growth is non-negotiable. Every day spent learning creates a stronger mind, sharper focus, and a life capable of adaptation, resilience, and excellence. The habit builds momentum that cannot easily be stopped and opens doors to opportunities otherwise invisible. Every minute invested in learning compounds into wisdom, confidence, and the capacity to act decisively in the world. Consistent daily learning is more than a habit. It is a lifestyle. It is the mechanism by which ordinary lives are transformed into extraordinary ones. Each day presents a choice: continue in ignorance or embrace growth. The path forward is simple in concept, but profound in impact. The mind trained daily becomes agile, resilient, and prepared. The life built on learning is a life lived intentionally, powerfully, and fully. Every morning that begins with the commitment to learn is a step toward mastery, purpose, and transformation. Chapter 3. Eliminate distractions to focus fully on meaningful work. Distractions are the silent thieves of productivity. They erode focus, scatter energy, and prevent meaningful progress from ever taking shape. In a world overloaded with notifications, noise, and constant demands, the ability to concentrate deeply is the ultimate competitive advantage. To focus fully on work that matters, it is not enough to wish for discipline. It must be structured, practiced, and defended. The first step is recognizing what truly constitutes meaningful work. Identify tasks that produce the greatest results in life, career, and personal growth. These are activities that move goals forward, develop skills, or create long-term value. Everything else, while sometimes urgent, is often superficial and can be deferred or eliminated. Begin by auditing your environment. The space around you has a profound effect on mental clarity. Remove unnecessary items, keep only what supports work, and designate areas for specific tasks. A clear, organized space reduces cognitive load and signals to the mind that focus is required. Physical clutter often translates into mental clutter. Maintaining order simplifies decision-making and preserves energy for deep work. Next, address digital distractions. Phones, social media, email, and messaging apps are designed to hijack attention. The simplest approach is to create intentional boundaries, turn off notifications, enable focus modes, or physically place devices out of reach. Consider scheduling specific times for communication rather than responding impulsively throughout the day. Each interruption fragments thought and makes returning to full focus exponentially harder. By protecting attention, the mind retains the capacity for sustained effort. Time blocking is a critical strategy for eliminating distractions. Allocate fixed periods to work on important projects without interruption. During these blocks, commit entirely to the task at hand. Avoid the temptation to multitask. True productivity thrives on singular attention. Even short spans of uninterrupted effort produce more than hours spent divided across multiple trivial tasks. Set a timer if necessary. The timer creates external accountability, signaling a boundary that strengthens self-discipline. Mental preparation enhances focus. Begin each session by clarifying the purpose and desired outcome. Ask what specific result is expected and visualize completion. This primes the brain to filter out irrelevant information and prioritize what matters most. A focused mind is proactive rather than reactive. It sees distractions as obstacles to be managed, not inevitable interruptions. Patching similar tasks together reduces context switching, a major source of inefficiency. Group emails, calls, and administrative duties into designated periods rather than sprinkling them throughout the day. Consolidating similar actions conserves energy and allows longer uninterrupted stretches for deep work. The mind operates more efficiently when patterns are predictable and transitions are minimized. Accountability accelerates sustained focus. Share goals with a trusted colleague, friend, or mentor who will check progress regularly. External oversight motivates adherence to productive routines and discourages casual drifting into distractions. Tracking output visibly through journals, progress charts, or digital tools reinforces commitment. Seeing measurable results enhances confidence and creates a positive feedback loop that strengthens focus over time. Distractions often arise from internal sources, such as wandering thoughts, stress, or fatigue. Addressing these requires self-awareness and self-care. Schedule breaks to prevent burnout and maintain mental sharpness. Short walks, stretching, or breathing exercises refresh the brain. Adequate nutrition and hydration maintain energy levels that support sustained concentration. A rested and nourished mind resists distraction more effectively than one under strain. Decision fatigue is another subtle enemy of focus. Reduce trivial choices by standardizing routines, meal plans, and work processes. The brain has limited energy for high-value decisions. Conserving it allows greater attention to critical tasks. Simple structures like consistent start times, prepared workspaces, and predefined workflows create a frictionless environment that encourages uninterrupted work. Implementing visual cues helps maintain concentration. Use a clean workspace, minimalist designs, and reminders of objectives. Remove anything that tempts procrastination or redirects attention. When the eye is uncluttered, the mind can settle into sustained focus. Every element in the environment should either support the task or be absent entirely. Practice deliberate attention. When distractions appear, acknowledge them briefly and return immediately to the task. Avoid giving unnecessary mental energy to irrelevant stimuli. Repeated redirection strengthens self-control and reinforces the habit of focused engagement. Each time attention is reclaimed, neural pathways for concentration grow stronger, making future focus easier and more natural. Emotional regulation is also critical. Feelings of anxiety, boredom, or frustration can trigger distraction. Acknowledge emotions without judgment. Then redirect energy to the work at hand. Techniques such as mindfulness or short breathing exercises stabilize the mind and restore clarity. Focus thrives, not in a vacuum, but in an environment of balanced emotional state. Cultivate a mindset that values depth over breadth. Shallow engagement produces noise, while deep work creates results. Prioritize high-impact tasks and allocate uninterrupted time for them daily. Treat distraction as a threat to personal growth, not a minor inconvenience. Each protected session of meaningful work compounds over weeks and months, creating visible progress and personal empowerment. Leverage the principle of environment design. Inform colleagues, family, or housemates about focus periods. Quiet, uninterrupted zones signal seriousness and reduce unintentional interruptions. Use noise-cancelling headphones, private rooms, or specific work hours to protect the mental state. Environment dictates behavior more than willpower alone. By shaping surroundings intentionally, focus becomes almost automatic. Track time spent in deep work and note progress daily. Awareness of patterns allows refinement of strategies. Identify moments when attention drifts and assess triggers. Adjust scheduling, workspace, or techniques to maintain high levels of concentration. Self-monitoring reinforces accountability and provides insights into personal productivity rhythms. Learn to say no. Each invitation, meeting, or notification represents a potential diversion from meaningful work. Protecting focus requires courage and clarity in prioritization. Decline requests that do not align with long-term goals or current high-value tasks. Discipline in choosing what to engage with is the foundation for sustained progress. Break tasks into manageable steps. Large projects can intimidate and encourage avoidance. Dividing work into actionable components reduces mental friction and allows incremental progress. Completing each step builds momentum and confidence, reducing susceptibility to distraction. Momentum acts as a natural defense against wandering attention. Harness the power of single tasking. Multitasking splits energy and reduces efficiency. By committing to one task at a time, the brain works with full resources and produces higher quality output. Single tasking also strengthens the ability to resist future distractions as mental focus becomes habitual. Celebrate completion of focused work blocks. Reinforce the habit by acknowledging effort and results. Positive reinforcement strengthens neural pathways associated with discipline and attention. Over time, the mind anticipates satisfaction from productive engagement, creating intrinsic motivation to maintain focus. Eliminating distractions is not a one-time act, but a continuous practice. Each day presents new challenges to attention and new temptations to drift. The skill of focus grows stronger with repeated defense and consistent application. Protecting time and mental energy is an act of self-respect and a declaration that progress matters more than convenience. The ability to focus fully on meaningful work shapes the trajectory of life. Those who master attention produce results far beyond what seems possible. Distraction is optional, control is achievable. Every protected hour of focused effort compounds into skill, knowledge, and accomplishment. Sustained attention transforms ordinary tasks into significant achievements, creates clarity, and strengthens self-discipline. Deep focus is a habit that, once established, becomes a powerful force. Each session trains the mind to resist interruption, increases resilience against external noise, and builds capacity for complex problem solving. Meaningful work done consistently produces exponential growth. The commitment to eliminate distractions is a commitment to one's potential. Every day practiced with intention enhances capability, sharpens the mind, and moves life steadily toward mastery and impact. Chapter 4. Practice gratitude to strengthen positivity and emotional resilience. Gratitude is more than a fleeting feeling. It is a deliberate practice that reshapes the mind, strengthens emotional resilience, and enhances overall well-being. The people who live meaningful and balanced lives understand that appreciating what exists in the present creates clarity, focus, and energy for action. Gratitude trains the brain to notice abundance rather than deficiency, and to respond to life's challenges with calm and perspective. It is not dependent on external circumstances, but grows from intentional attention to the positive aspects of experience. Each day spent practicing gratitude reinforces optimism, reduces stress, and cultivates a mindset that is resistant to negativity and self-doubt. Begin by setting aside time each morning or evening to reflect intentionally. Identify 3 distinct things that are present in life and genuinely valuable, whether large or small. They can range from health, relationships, and opportunities to simple experiences such as the warmth of sunlight or a satisfying meal. The process is not about repetition or convenience. It is about observation and recognition of what might otherwise go unnoticed. Writing these down engages the mind actively and strengthens memory, making the practice tangible and reinforcing neural pathways that support positive thinking. Expressing gratitude is not limited to journaling. Verbal acknowledgement amplifies its effect. Take moments to thank people in your life genuinely, whether family, colleagues, or friends. A brief note, a text, or even a short conversation can shift energy in relationships and enhance emotional connection. Gratitude expressed outwardly strengthens social bonds, builds trust, and promotes cooperation. It creates a feedback loop where appreciation becomes contagious, reinforcing a supportive and constructive environment. Integrate gratitude into daily routines. During meals, pause to acknowledge the effort and resources that brought the food to the table. While commuting, notice aspects of the environment that bring comfort or safety. Small repeated acts anchor the habit and remind the mind to value life's components. These moments accumulate, gradually rewiring attention to prioritize awareness over complaint or distraction. Over time, gratitude becomes automatic, shaping perspective even in difficult circumstances. Embrace contrast to deepen understanding of gratitude. Recognize hardships, setbacks, or discomfort, not as reasons for despair, but as frameworks that highlight what is working and what is meaningful. Difficult experiences sharpen appreciation for stability, growth, and progress. The mind that practices gratitude acknowledges challenges without surrendering to negativity, transforming obstacles into lessons and sources of strength. This resilience is cultivated through repeated reflection on what is good in the midst of imperfection. Physical embodiment enhances emotional connection to gratitude. During moments of reflection, allow the body to participate. Breathe deeply, relax the shoulders, and feel sensations associated with each positive recognition. Connecting mind and body solidifies experience and reinforces emotional resonance. Sensory engagement ensures that gratitude is felt, not merely conceptualized. This holistic approach enhances mood regulation, reduces tension, and strengthens emotional stability throughout the day. Gratitude also sharpens focus and prioritization. When the mind consistently identifies what is valuable, Decisions become more aligned with long-term objectives. Time and energy are less likely to be wasted on trivial complaints or distractions. This clarity promotes efficiency and intentionality in every action. People who practice gratitude routinely find themselves more patient, persistent, and capable of maintaining composure under pressure. Avoid comparison as a distraction from genuine appreciation. Gratitude is personal and rooted in awareness of one's own circumstances and resources. Comparing to others often generates envy or dissatisfaction. Instead, use examples from the environment or achievements of others as inspiration rather than judgment. Focusing on internal assessment ensures that gratitude remains authentic and grounded, reinforcing self-reliance and personal growth. Challenges in establishing a gratitude habit often arise from ingrained negativity or stress. Start small, focusing on concrete and observable elements rather than abstract ideals. The more specific and precise the acknowledgement, the stronger the effect on emotional state. For instance, noting the effort of a coworker in completing a task or the comfort of a hot shower creates immediate and tangible reinforcement. Gradually, the practice can expand to broader reflections on life, purpose, and relationships. Pair gratitude with intention. Each recognition can serve as a guide for action. Appreciation of health, for example, encourages consistent exercise and mindful nutrition. Recognition of relationships fosters intentional communication and acts of kindness. Gratitude is not passive. It motivates responsible behavior and sustained self-improvement. By linking acknowledgement to deliberate action, the practice creates momentum that extends beyond thought into tangible results. Develop rituals to anchor the habit. Place a notebook in a consistent location, create reminders on digital devices, or establish a specific time of day for reflection. Repetition strengthens habit formation. Ritualization reduces reliance on motivation, which is fleeting, and relies on consistent patterns that are easier to maintain over months and years. The brain begins to anticipate the practice, reinforcing stability and emotional resilience. Emotional resilience grows through regular confrontation with both positives and negatives. The mind trained in gratitude recognizes that setbacks do not define reality, but are temporary events within a broader context of abundance. Stress and disappointment lose their grip when balanced with consistent acknowledgement of what is working and what is meaningful. The practice trains the brain to maintain equilibrium, avoiding overreaction and fostering constructive responses to adversity. Gratitude can also be expanded outward in community engagement. Volunteer work, mentoring, or helping others reinforces recognition of one's own resources while enhancing social impact. Acts of giving cultivate perspective, reduce self-absorption, and amplify fulfillment. The combination of personal reflection and active contribution creates a sense of purpose, reinforcing internal motivation and emotional stability. Measurement and reflection solidify the habit. At the end of each week, review entries or mental notes to observe patterns, growth, and recurring sources of value. Recognizing progress strengthens adherence and provides insight into priorities and mindset. Reflection also reveals shifts in perception over time, showing how consistency transforms perspective. Gratitude practice has profound cognitive benefits. Regular acknowledgement of positive aspects reduces anxiety, improves sleep, and increases mental clarity. Neural pathways associated with reward, motivation, and emotional regulation are strengthened. Over weeks and months, the mind becomes biased toward noticing opportunities, strengths, and resources rather than obstacles, scarcity, or complaints. Challenges will arise, especially in difficult circumstances. Commit to the practice, regardless of mood or convenience. The strength of gratitude lies in its consistency, not in emotional perfection. Each repetition fortifies resilience and establishes a mindset that is resistant to external chaos. By continuing the practice through discomfort, emotional endurance and clarity are cultivated. Incorporate gratitude into decision-making. Before taking action, consider the benefits and resources already available. This approach promotes prudence, reduces impulsivity, and enhances satisfaction with outcomes. Decisions grounded in appreciation are often more thoughtful, deliberate, and effective. The practice of evaluation through a lens of recognition strengthens judgment and foresight. The habit of gratitude ultimately transforms life. It reshapes perception, enhances emotional resilience, strengthens relationships, and motivates constructive action. Daily practice accumulates into a foundation of positivity and stability, allowing life to be approached with calm, clarity, and purpose. Gratitude trains the mind to notice abundance rather than scarcity and to act decisively from a position of strength. Consistency is the key. Commit to daily recognition of what is valuable and meaningful. Each acknowledgement strengthens emotional control, expands perspective, and reinforces personal growth. Over time, the practice cultivates a stable mindset capable of handling stress, maintaining focus, and embracing life fully. Gratitude is not merely an emotion, but a skill, a discipline, and a path toward a stronger, more resilient, and more intentional life. The decision to practice gratitude is a declaration of control over perception and emotion. It creates a foundation for optimism, persistence, and purpose. By training the mind to see and value what exists, emotional turbulence is reduced, mental clarity is enhanced, and personal energy is preserved for meaningful endeavors. Life approached with gratitude becomes intentional, disciplined, and deeply fulfilling. Each day spent acknowledging what is good compounds into a life that is resilient, empowered, and purpose-driven. Chapter 5. Exercise consistently to build energy, discipline, and confidence. Exercise is not merely a tool for physical appearance. It is a cornerstone habit that transforms energy levels, strengthens discipline, and builds unshakable confidence. The body and mind are inseparable, and movement has a direct impact on mental clarity, emotional stability, and resilience. People who exercise consistently do not just improve stamina or strength, they develop a mindset that values effort, persistence, and accountability. The process of regular training cultivates a structured approach to challenges, showing that consistent action produces measurable results, even when motivation is low. Physical fitness becomes a mirror reflecting commitment, discipline, and control over one's life. Start by defining the purpose behind your exercise routine. Whether the goal is increased energy, improved strength, or mental resilience, clarity of intention fuels adherence. Vague objectives produce inconsistent effort. Specificity matters. Commit to measurable outcomes, such as completing a certain number of push-ups, running a set distance, or improving flexibility over time. Purpose aligns action with vision, creating a sense of responsibility toward one's own development. Consistency is more important than intensity, especially in the early stages. Establishing a daily or near-daily habit solidifies discipline and conditions the body and mind to expect regular effort. Even short sessions of 15 to 20 minutes produce significant gains when performed consistently. The focus should be on forming the habit of showing up rather than overexerting and risking burnout. Incremental improvement compounds over time, far surpassing sporadic bursts of extreme effort. Design a routine that matches lifestyle and capacity. The plan should include components of strength, endurance, and mobility. Strength training builds physical power and supports long-term structural health. Cardiovascular exercise enhances energy production, stamina, and mental alertness. Flexibility and mobility practices reduce injury risk and maintain functional capability. A balanced approach ensures that growth is holistic and sustainable. Prepare mentally before beginning each session. Visualize the routine, anticipate challenges, and commit to completing every rep or movement with full focus. Mental preparation primes the nervous system and creates a heightened sense of awareness and control. The mind-body connection is strengthened when intention precedes action. Discipline begins before the first movement. Showing up consistently, even when energy is low, builds fortitude that transfers to all areas of life. Optimize the environment to reinforce commitment. Choose a space that encourages focus and minimizes excuses. Keep equipment accessible and the area free of clutter. The environment acts as a cue for action, reducing friction and mental resistance. Removing barriers makes it easier to start and maintain consistency, while organized surroundings support a mindset of purpose and control. Track progress rigorously. Record workouts, weights, repetitions, times or distances. Measurement provides tangible evidence of improvement and fuels motivation. Seeing incremental gains strengthens confidence and reinforces the connection between effort and outcome. Tracking also allows adjustments in intensity or focus, ensuring continuous improvement and avoiding stagnation. Use deliberate pacing to build endurance and prevent injury. Listen to the body's signals without surrendering to excuses. Proper form and controlled movement maximize efficiency and results while minimizing harm. Discipline is demonstrated through consistency and attention to detail rather than reckless intensity. Over time, mastery of technique enhances performance and reduces setbacks. Rest and recovery are essential components of consistent exercise. Sleep, proper nutrition, and periodic lighter days allow the body to rebuild stronger. Recovery is not a pause in progress, it is an active element of improvement. Neglecting rest leads to fatigue, injury, and burnout, undermining both physical and mental resilience. Understanding the balance between work and recovery strengthens self-awareness and long-term commitment. Motivation is fleeting, so build systems that do not rely on feeling inspired. Habit formation is sustained through routine and accountability rather than mood. Schedule sessions in advance, commit publicly to a training partner or community, and create visual cues such as calendars or progress charts. External structures reinforce internal discipline, making consistency inevitable over time. Pair exercise with mindful awareness. Engage fully in each movement, focusing on breath, posture, and muscular engagement. Mindfulness enhances the mind-body connection, reduces stress, and increases enjoyment. Paying attention to sensations during exercise reinforces presence and trains the mind to focus deeply in other aspects of life. Awareness transforms physical action into a tool for mental clarity and resilience. Embrace challenges as growth opportunities. Increasing resistance, duration, or complexity is uncomfortable by design. Growth occurs outside comfort zones. Each session where limits are pushed builds confidence and strengthens the habit of facing adversity. Consistent effort in overcoming physical obstacles trains the mind to tolerate discomfort and persist when tasks are difficult or tedious. Nutrition supports the energy required for consistent performance. Adequate protein, healthy fats, and complex carbohydrates fuel recovery and sustain focus. Hydration enhances cellular function and physical performance. Treat nutrition as part of the habit system rather than a separate effort. Proper fuel is essential for the body to respond to training effectively and to maintain high energy levels throughout the day. Leverage the concept of micro-habits to reinforce consistency. When time or energy is limited, commit to smaller movements or lighter sessions rather than skipping entirely. 10 minutes of bodyweight exercises or a short walk maintains the habit and reinforces identity as someone who trains consistently. Small actions compound into sustained behavior and prevent disruptions from breaking momentum. Integrate variation to prevent stagnation and maintain engagement. Rotating exercises, intensity or environments challenges the body in new ways and stimulates mental interest. Variation reduces boredom and keeps the nervous system adaptive. Novelty paired with routine ensures long-term adherence and continual improvement. Confidence develops as effort translates into measurable results. Visible changes in strength, endurance, or posture reinforce self-esteem. The knowledge that consistent action produces tangible benefits extends beyond exercise, influencing decisions, career, and relationships. Physical competence becomes a foundation for mental assurance, creating a virtuous cycle of capability and action. Track emotional and mental changes alongside physical progress. Exercise reduces stress, increases energy, and sharpens focus. Observing these benefits reinforces the habit and motivates ongoing commitment. Over time, the mind becomes more resilient, persistent, and capable of handling challenges with clarity and composure. Physical activity becomes a mechanism for both physiological and psychological empowerment. Accountability strengthens habit formation. Share goals, progress, and challenges with a trusted partner, coach, or community. External oversight reinforces commitment and creates a supportive feedback loop. The social element encourages consistency and provides motivation during periods of fatigue or discouragement. Connection amplifies discipline and builds a sense of purpose within the routine. Celebrate milestones to reinforce behavior. Recognize completed sessions, personal records, or improved performance. Reward reinforces the neural pathways associated with discipline and focus. Celebration does not need to be extravagant. Acknowledgement alone strengthens internal motivation and highlights progress. Positive reinforcement maintains engagement and prevents the habit from feeling burdensome. Daily exercise is not optional for those seeking personal transformation. It is foundational. Each session is an act of self-investment, a demonstration of discipline, and a reinforcement of identity as someone who takes control. Regular movement sharpens focus, strengthens resilience, and cultivates confidence that permeates every aspect of life. The habit of exercise extends far beyond the gym or track, influencing mindset, decision-making, and overall capability. Persistence is key. Results do not appear overnight, but consistency guarantees progress. The mind and body adapt gradually, creating strength, energy, and confidence that compound over time. The commitment to exercise builds a framework of self-discipline, resilience, and self-respect that permeates every area of existence. Every session completed is a step toward mastery of self, energy, and potential. Exercise consistently, not for fleeting appearance, but for enduring strength, focus, and confidence. Each day that effort is invested builds momentum that transforms the body and mind. Over weeks, months, and years, the practice compounds into a life defined by discipline, energy, and unwavering belief in one's ability to act decisively. The habit of consistent movement creates a foundation for every other habit, enhancing focus, emotional resilience, and capacity for achievement in every sphere of life. Chapter 6. Track your progress to measure growth and stay accountable. Tracking progress is one of the most powerful habits anyone can develop because it creates clarity, accountability, and motivation in a way that intention alone cannot achieve. Without measurement, growth remains abstract and accomplishments are difficult to recognize. Human beings are wired to respond to feedback. Seeing tangible evidence of effort and results reinforces commitment and builds momentum. Tracking is not merely about numbers or metrics. It is a deliberate observation of actions, outcomes, and patterns that allows adjustment and improvement over time. People who consistently monitor their progress create a self-reinforcing cycle of focus, discipline, and achievement that others rarely experience. The first step is defining what matters most. Not every action requires tracking, but those that directly contribute to long-term goals, skills, or habits do. Identify metrics that reflect effort, consistency, and results. These can range from work outputs and personal development activities to health, fitness, or financial milestones. Clear criteria prevent wasted effort on meaningless activities and sharpen attention on what truly drives growth. Choosing meaningful indicators also ensures that tracking produces insight rather than merely creating a record of activity. Consistency is key. Tracking should happen regularly, ideally daily, to create an ongoing awareness of performance and results. Sporadic measurement fails to capture patterns and misses opportunities for timely correction. Even brief entries each day create a strong habit, reinforcing accountability and maintaining focus on progress. Daily tracking encourages mindfulness, making each choice and action intentional and aligned with objectives. Recording progress can be as simple as a journal, spreadsheet, or digital app. The important aspect is clarity and accessibility. The format should be intuitive, easy to update, and organized so trends are quickly visible. Visualizing progress helps the brain interpret data, motivates action, and reveals areas that require attention. Graphs, checklists, or simple tallies all provide valuable insight into performance. The process of writing or entering results also reinforces memory and personal engagement. Break goals into measurable components. Large ambitions can feel abstract, but subdividing them into small, trackable tasks transforms them into actionable steps. Each completed sub-goal is an opportunity to acknowledge progress, strengthening self-confidence and commitment. Incremental tracking provides feedback loops, allowing the refinement of strategy and adjustment of priorities. Small victories accumulate into momentum that makes long-term objectives attainable. Reflection is an essential part of tracking. Beyond recording numbers, take time to analyze what actions led to outcomes, what obstacles emerged, and how strategies could improve. Reflection turns raw data into wisdom. It reveals inefficiencies, exposes weaknesses, and identifies strengths that can be leveraged. Reviewing patterns empowers deliberate adjustments rather than relying on chance or hope for results. Accountability is strengthened through transparency. Sharing progress with mentors, colleagues, or supportive peers increases commitment and reduces the likelihood of complacency. Knowing that someone else will review outcomes creates pressure to maintain standards and reinforces discipline. External accountability complements internal tracking, creating a network of reinforcement that propels growth. Tracking also reduces procrastination. When effort is measured, time becomes more valuable, and distractions are less appealing. The awareness that each hour contributes to a record of results increases urgency and focus. Progress becomes visible, reducing the psychological distance between action and achievement. Awareness of the record prevents drifting and strengthens motivation. Celebrate achievements, no matter how small. Tracking progress makes accomplishments tangible and reinforces behavior that produces results. Recognition of success boosts confidence, energizes effort, and strengthens belief in personal capability. Celebrating milestones does not diminish seriousness, but reinforces identity as someone committed to growth and excellence. Positive reinforcement accelerates habit formation and ensures consistent effort over time. Use tracking as a tool for problem solving. When progress stalls, measurement identifies where adjustments are needed. Patterns of failure or inconsistency become evident, allowing targeted interventions. Without tracking, stagnation often goes unnoticed, and effort may be wasted on ineffective actions. By analyzing data, the mind becomes proactive, addressing weaknesses and leveraging strengths systematically. Adaptability is enhanced through consistent measurement. Goals, priorities, and circumstances change over time. Tracking provides a foundation to make informed decisions about adjusting strategies or shifting focus. Being able to pivot without losing momentum is a hallmark of disciplined growth. Each observation creates insight, helping to navigate challenges with clarity and precision. Integrate tracking with other habits. Combine it with daily routines, such as journaling, reflection, or planning. Habit stacking reduces friction and ensures regularity. The act of recording progress becomes automatic when integrated into existing practices, reinforcing consistency without relying on motivation alone. Over time, measurement itself becomes a habit, creating continuous awareness and alignment with goals. Tracking progress strengthens self-awareness. Observing patterns of effort, behavior, and outcomes reveals tendencies that might otherwise go unnoticed. Understanding how personal energy, focus, and decision-making affect results allows for deliberate adjustments. Self-awareness, derived from consistent measurement, enhances both personal and professional effectiveness, making growth intentional rather than accidental. Quantitative tracking can be combined with qualitative reflection. Numbers alone do not capture insights such as emotional response, satisfaction, or learning. Include observations about feelings, challenges, and perceptions of effectiveness. These notes provide context that enriches understanding and informs future action. Qualitative tracking ensures that measurement reflects reality rather than superficial outputs. The habit of measurement cultivates patience. Growth is rarely linear, and visible progress often emerges slowly. Tracking allows observation of long-term trends rather than fixation on daily fluctuations. Understanding that incremental improvements accumulate reinforces persistence and reduces discouragement. Patience, informed by data, strengthens commitment to habits and long-term objectives. Focus on actionable insights, not just accumulation of data. Record only what informs decision-making or indicates progress. Over-tracking creates noise and dilutes attention. Each entry should answer the question of whether current actions are effective and what adjustments are necessary. Purposeful measurement is a tool for intelligent growth, not a task performed for appearance or obligation. Tracking encourages discipline in related habits. When progress is measured, behaviors align more naturally with objectives. People who consistently monitor effort are less likely to procrastinate, deviate from priorities, or succumb to short-term impulses. The act of measurement reinforces self-control, organization, and responsibility. Discipline expands from the habit of observation into every facet of daily action. Measurement also fosters resilience. Setbacks become data points rather than failures. Observing the trajectory of progress over time creates perspective, reducing discouragement and supporting constructive responses to obstacles. Resilience grows as each challenge is seen through the lens of cumulative effort rather than isolated difficulty. Tracking progress is a catalyst for growth in all areas of life. It transforms intention into observable results, effort into tangible evidence, and commitment into momentum. Each recorded step reinforces the identity of a person who acts with purpose, evaluates results, and improves systematically. Over weeks, months, and years, the accumulation of tracked effort compounds into mastery, confidence, and a sense of control over life. Consistency in measurement ensures the habit becomes second nature. Daily observation, reflection, and adjustment create a mindset that values evidence over assumption. The mind, trained to monitor progress, naturally prioritizes high-impact actions, resists distraction, and remains aligned with long-term objectives. Measurement becomes a mechanism for self-mastery, personal accountability, and continuous improvement. Ultimately, tracking progress is a declaration of ownership over life. It transforms vague intentions into visible evidence of effort and achievement. It empowers decision-making, strengthens accountability, and motivates action when energy or enthusiasm wanes. The practice of observing, recording, and reflecting creates clarity, resilience, and momentum. People who embrace this habit build a life defined by purposeful action, measurable growth, and unstoppable progress. Consistency, reflection, and accountability make tracking not just a tool, but a transformative force that reshapes capability, confidence, and the trajectory of every meaningful pursuit. Chapter 7. Prioritize sleep to enhance performance and mental clarity. Sleep is not a luxury. It is a fundamental habit that determines performance, mental clarity, and overall well-being. Many people underestimate its impact, believing that working longer hours or pushing through fatigue will yield results. In reality, inadequate sleep erodes cognitive function, decision-making, emotional regulation, and physical health. Prioritizing rest is not laziness. It is strategic action that maximizes productivity and strengthens resilience. The mind and body operate in harmony, and proper sleep is the mechanism that restores energy, repairs cells, and consolidates memory. Neglecting it compromises focus, slows learning, and reduces efficiency in every task attempted. Establish a consistent sleep schedule. Going to bed and waking up at the same time each day regulates the body's internal clock, improving the quality of rest and the ease of waking. Consistency signals to the brain when it is time to wind down and when it is time to activate alertness. Irregular sleep patterns confuse circadian rhythms, leading to grogginess, reduced concentration, and lower performance throughout the day. Treat sleep as a fixed appointment with yourself rather than a flexible option. Create an environment conducive to restorative sleep. Darkness, quiet, and a comfortable temperature optimize the release of melatonin, the hormone responsible for sleep regulation. Reduce exposure to screens and artificial light at least an hour before bed to allow natural rhythms to align. A cool, dark, and quiet room signals to the body that it is time to transition from wakefulness to rest, preparing the mind for deep and uninterrupted sleep cycles. Avoid stimulants such as caffeine or excessive sugar in the hours before bed. These substances interfere with natural relaxation, prolong the time it takes to fall asleep, and fragment restorative stages. Similarly, alcohol may induce drowsiness but disrupts deep sleep and impairs cognitive restoration. Fueling the body and mind properly during the day and minimizing stimulants before sleep ensures maximum effectiveness of rest. Develop a pre-sleep routine that signals the mind to relax. Simple rituals, such as reading, stretching, or deep breathing, prepare the nervous system for rest. These consistent cues condition the brain to associate specific behaviors with the transition from activity to recovery. The pre-sleep routine reduces mental chatter, lowers stress hormones, and encourages a state of calm necessary for quality sleep. Naps can be strategically incorporated but should be limited in duration and timing. Short naps of 20 to 30 minutes provide energy and alertness without interfering with nighttime sleep. Longer or late-day naps can disrupt sleep cycles, leading to difficulty falling asleep and decreased restorative rest. Awareness of timing ensures that naps complement rather than compromise overall sleep quality. Sleep directly affects cognitive performance. Memory consolidation, problem-solving, creativity, and focus all depend on sufficient restorative rest. Skipping or shortening sleep diminishes attention, slows reaction times, and reduces the ability to process complex information. High performers understand that the time spent sleeping is an investment in mental acuity and long-term capability. Prioritizing sleep enhances efficiency and sharpness more than extended waking hours ever could. Emotional regulation is strengthened by consistent sleep. Sleep deprivation increases irritability, amplifies stress responses, and reduces patience. Decisions made under fatigue are more likely to be impulsive or reactive. Prioritizing rest ensures emotional stability, allowing measured responses, clear thinking, and effective communication in both personal and professional contexts. The ability to manage emotion under pressure is directly tied to the quality and consistency of sleep. Physical recovery is equally important. Sleep supports immune function, tissue repair, hormone regulation, and energy restoration. Muscles rebuild, neurons consolidate learning, and the body detoxifies during deep sleep stages. Regular rest ensures sustained energy throughout the day, reduces the risk of injury, and maintains long-term health. Neglecting sleep undermines physical performance and accelerates deterioration in multiple systems, decreasing overall capability. Morning exposure to natural light reinforces circadian rhythms. Sunlight triggers wakefulness, hormone regulation, and alertness, preparing the body and mind for activity. Pairing proper sleep with exposure to daylight establishes a stable rhythm that enhances energy levels, mood, and productivity. Reinforcing natural cycles ensures that rest and wakefulness are optimized for maximal performance. Mindfulness and stress management before sleep improve quality. Stress hormones and racing thoughts interfere with the ability to relax and transition into deep sleep. Techniques such as journaling, meditation, or deep breathing calm the nervous system, reducing cognitive interference and preparing the body for restorative rest. Reducing mental clutter enhances sleep depth and effectiveness, ensuring that recovery is complete. Tracking sleep patterns can reveal insights about quality and consistency. Simple monitoring through apps, journals, or wearable devices highlights trends, duration, and disturbances. Awareness of sleep habits allows adjustment of routines, environmental factors, and lifestyle choices to improve rest. Objective feedback reinforces accountability and helps identify behaviors that support or hinder sleep. Avoid using sleep as a reward or punishment. Rest is a requirement for optimal functioning, not a negotiable indulgence. Treat it with the same importance as nutrition, exercise, and work. Consistent prioritization reinforces the habit and establishes a mindset that values long-term capability over short-term sacrifice. Sleep is an enabler of achievement, not an obstacle to productivity. Hydration and nutrition impact sleep. Heavy meals, excessive fluid intake, or dehydration can interfere with comfort and restfulness. Eating a balanced diet and timing fluid intake appropriately supports uninterrupted sleep. The body functions best when energy, digestion, and hydration are aligned with rest, allowing deep cycles and morning alertness. Exercise complements sleep by regulating energy levels and reducing stress hormones. Physical activity earlier in the day promotes faster onset of sleep and deeper rest. The synergy between movement and sleep strengthens resilience, enhances cognitive function, and builds energy that persists throughout waking hours. A routine that integrates both rest and exercise amplifies productivity and well-being. Prioritize mental detachment from work or stress before bedtime. Reflection and planning earlier in the day prevent intrusive thoughts from occupying the mind at night. Boundaries between work and rest protect quality sleep and prevent cognitive fatigue. Clear separation ensures that the mind can recover fully and approach the next day with clarity and focus. Consistency in sleep directly enhances performance in every aspect of life. Cognitive function, emotional regulation, physical health, and decision-making all improve with stable, high-quality rest. Individuals who prioritize sleep demonstrate greater productivity, sharper insight, and superior judgment. The compounded effect of repeated restorative sleep supports long-term growth and success. Even small improvements in sleep quality yield significant results. Adjusting bedtimes, minimizing light and noise, or reducing stimulants produces immediate benefits in alertness and focus. Small changes create habits that accumulate over weeks and months, producing transformative effects on energy, clarity, and resilience. Incremental adjustments compound into consistent performance gains. Prioritizing sleep is a declaration of self-respect and discipline. It communicates that long-term capability, focus, and well-being matter more than short-term gratification or forced productivity. Individuals who honor sleep cultivate a stable foundation for every other habit, decision, and action. Consistent rest enhances the ability to learn, perform, and respond to life with clarity and purpose. Quality sleep is the ultimate enabler of human potential. It strengthens mental clarity, emotional resilience, and physical capability. By committing to regular, intentional rest, the mind operates with precision, energy levels remain high, and the ability to tackle challenges increases exponentially. Sleep is not passive, it is an active habit that cultivates strength, focus, and enduring performance. Prioritizing it transforms every day, making consistent achievement, disciplined action, and sustained growth possible. Chapter 8. Reflect daily to understand choices and improve decision-making. Daily reflection is a powerful habit that separates reactive lives from intentional ones. Taking time each day to review choices, actions, and experiences allows the mind to identify patterns, recognize mistakes, and reinforce behaviors that contribute to growth. Reflection is not about dwelling on errors or regretting decisions. It is about creating awareness and extracting lessons that inform future actions. People who practice daily reflection develop sharper judgment, greater clarity, and stronger decision-making skills because they approach life with knowledge rather than impulse. The discipline of looking inward cultivates self-awareness, strengthens accountability, and transforms ordinary actions into purposeful steps toward long-term success. Begin by dedicating a consistent time each day for reflection. Whether it is in the morning to plan and assess goals, or in the evening to review the day's outcomes, consistency reinforces the habit. A fixed routine trains the mind to anticipate this period of introspection, ensuring it becomes natural rather than optional. Even 10 to 15 minutes of focused reflection can produce profound insights over time. The mind benefits from structured pauses that allow evaluation of choices, their motivations, and their consequences. Record observations in writing. Journaling transforms fleeting thoughts into concrete insights that can be reviewed later. Documenting decisions, actions, and reactions creates a feedback loop that strengthens learning. Writing encourages honesty and precision in evaluating experiences, providing a clearer understanding of patterns in behavior. Reviewing past entries allows identification of recurring mistakes or successful strategies, turning reflection into a tool for strategic improvement. Assess the alignment of actions with long-term objectives. Each choice should be measured against personal values, goals, and desired outcomes. Reflecting in this manner ensures that effort is directed intentionally and prevents drifting into habits that do not serve purpose. Awareness of alignment fosters prioritization and eliminates energy wasted on distractions or low-value activities. Consistent evaluation strengthens focus and accelerates progress toward meaningful results. Evaluate emotional responses during the day. Understanding how emotions influence decisions reveals the interplay between feeling and action. Emotional intelligence develops as patterns emerge in reactions to stress, challenges, or interpersonal interactions. Reflection allows recognition of triggers, habitual responses, and areas requiring control. Over time, individuals gain mastery over emotional impulses, making decisions that are calm, rational, and effective rather than reactionary. Analyze successes as well as failures. Reflection is not solely for correction, it is equally for reinforcement. Identifying choices that led to positive outcomes provides insight into effective strategies, habits, and thinking patterns. Recognizing strengths builds confidence and encourages repetition of beneficial actions. Successes offer a blueprint for behavior, and daily reflection ensures these patterns are consciously understood and utilized. Ask critical questions during reflection. Consider what was done well, what could have been improved, what was learned, and what would be done differently in the future. Questioning creates depth in evaluation and prevents superficial analysis. The mind learns best through structured inquiry, and repeated questioning refines judgment, sharpens reasoning, and enhances decision-making over time. Critical assessment ensures that growth is deliberate rather than incidental. Incorporate perspective-taking into reflection. Consider situations from different angles, including those of others involved. Understanding motives, reactions, and constraints of people around you provides clarity and reduces misjudgment. Developing empathy during reflection improves interpersonal decision-making and reduces conflict. Broadening perspective strengthens the ability to make fair, informed, and strategic choices in all areas of life. Recognize patterns of procrastination, avoidance, or impulsivity. Daily reflection helps identify behaviors that undermine goals. Awareness is the first step toward change. Once patterns are visible, corrective actions can be implemented to break negative cycles. By tracking repeated tendencies, it becomes possible to intervene before behaviors escalate into long-term habits that limit potential. Reflection acts as a preventative mechanism against self-sabotage. Reflect on resource allocation. Assess how time, energy, and attention were distributed across tasks and priorities. Understanding whether resources were applied effectively provides insight into productivity and efficiency. Adjustments can be made to ensure focus remains on high-value activities. Reflection ensures intentional management of resources rather than reactive or habitual allocation. Include both qualitative and quantitative evaluation. Measure accomplishments objectively while also noting feelings, insights, and observations. Numbers reveal progress in tangible areas, while qualitative reflection highlights learning, emotional growth, and personal development. Combining both approaches produces a comprehensive understanding of performance, ensuring that improvement encompasses all dimensions of life. Identify obstacles and external influences during reflection. Recognizing environmental, relational, or situational factors that affected decisions helps prepare for future challenges. Understanding the impact of external variables allows better planning, anticipation of hurdles, and proactive responses. Awareness of context strengthens resilience and decision-making by reducing surprises and enhancing adaptability. Use reflection to reinforce accountability. Evaluate whether promises to oneself or others were kept and what prevented follow-through when commitments were missed. Accountability strengthens self-discipline and builds credibility, both internally and externally. Individuals who consistently reflect on obligations develop a reputation for reliability and cultivate a mindset oriented toward completion and responsibility. Reflection encourages continuous learning. Each day provides new experiences, challenges, and insights. Daily analysis of these events turns experiences into education, ensuring that knowledge accumulates and informs future actions. This habit transforms life into a guided course of growth rather than a series of random occurrences. Learning becomes deliberate and progressive, accelerating personal development. Set specific action steps based on reflection. Insights are valuable only when translated into changes or improvements in behavior. Identify 1 or 2 adjustments to implement the following day, ensuring that reflection produces concrete results. Action bridges the gap between thought and change, transforming awareness into measurable progress. Reflection without implementation becomes merely intellectual exercise rather than a catalyst for growth. Embrace honesty in reflection. Confront uncomfortable truths about mistakes, biases, or limitations without defensiveness. Self-awareness thrives in the presence of honesty. Avoid rationalizing errors or hiding from responsibility. Candid evaluation builds resilience, humility, and clarity. The ability to see oneself clearly is essential for growth, effective decision-making, and long-term achievement. Recognize the influence of habits in decision-making. Reflection illuminates the repetitive behaviors that shape outcomes unconsciously. Identifying these routines allows the opportunity to reinforce beneficial habits and eliminate detrimental ones. Habit awareness ensures that intentional choices replace automatic responses, increasing the quality of every action. Over time, consistent reflection transforms habitual behavior into deliberate, purpose-driven performance. Track progress over time. Regularly review prior reflections to observe patterns, growth, and recurring themes. Historical perspective provides insight into long-term development and helps adjust strategies accordingly. Seeing accumulated lessons reinforces the value of reflection and motivates continued practice. Growth becomes visible and measurable, reinforcing commitment to self-improvement. Reflection strengthens focus and decision-making in real time. As patterns and insights are internalized, individuals approach challenges with a clearer perspective, anticipate consequences more accurately, and make choices that are aligned with values and objectives. Daily practice builds intuition grounded in experience and analysis, enhancing confidence and effectiveness in all actions. Ultimately, daily reflection transforms the way life is approached. It develops self-awareness, sharpens judgment, and improves the ability to make intentional, informed, and impactful decisions. The habit of consistent reflection ensures that every choice is observed, understood, and leveraged for growth. By committing to the practice, individuals cultivate a life of clarity, accountability, and continuous improvement where each day becomes an opportunity to learn, adapt, and advance toward long-term success. Chapter 9. Set clear goals to create direction and unstoppable momentum. Setting clear goals is one of the most transformative habits anyone can adopt, because it converts vague intentions into actionable steps and fuels unstoppable momentum. Without defined objectives, effort becomes scattered, energy is wasted, and progress feels slow or invisible. Goals create a roadmap for action, providing both direction and motivation. They act as anchors that keep focus sharp during distractions and setbacks. People who set explicit, well-structured goals experience a heightened sense of purpose, clarity in decision-making, and the ability to measure progress in tangible ways. The habit of goal setting transforms potential into action, ambition into results, and dreams into achievable milestones. Begin by identifying what truly matters. Effective goals reflect personal values, long-term vision, and meaningful outcomes. Goals should not be arbitrary or imposed by external pressures. They must resonate deeply to ensure consistent effort and dedication. Understanding why a goal is important strengthens commitment and builds resilience during challenges. A goal with personal significance compels action even when motivation is low, anchoring persistence in purpose rather than fleeting inspiration. Define goals in specific and measurable terms. Ambiguous objectives such as get better at work or improve health lack direction and make progress difficult to track. Clear goals provide criteria for success and clarify the steps required to achieve them. Measurable goals also create a sense of accountability, allowing progress to be observed, celebrated, and adjusted when necessary. The specificity of goals converts abstract intentions into concrete plans. Break larger goals into smaller, manageable milestones. Massive ambitions can feel overwhelming and paralyzing without a step-by-step structure. Sub-goals create achievable targets that maintain motivation and provide frequent reinforcement of progress. Each milestone reached builds confidence, reinforces discipline, and generates momentum that carries forward to the next stage. Incremental success ensures that long-term objectives remain approachable and actionable. Set deadlines to cultivate urgency and accountability. Goals without timelines often drift into indefinite postponement. Deadlines create pressure to act consistently and prevent procrastination. They also enable prioritization, ensuring that effort is directed toward high-impact actions rather than distractions or trivial tasks. Time-bound objectives transform ambition into structured execution, making progress measurable and continuous. Visualize the outcome regularly. Imagining the completion of a goal strengthens focus, aligns daily actions with desired results, and reinforces motivation. Visualization is a mental rehearsal that primes the brain for success, preparing individuals to take deliberate steps and overcome obstacles. It bridges the gap between intention and execution by keeping the end result vivid and tangible in the mind. Track progress systematically. Monitoring advancements toward each goal highlights what is working, what needs adjustment, and where additional effort is required. Consistent tracking provides feedback loops that inform decision-making and improve efficiency. Observing patterns of success and failure encourages refinement of strategies, ensuring that momentum remains strong and progress is continuous. Anticipate challenges and plan contingencies. Every meaningful goal encounters obstacles, distractions, and setbacks. Thinking ahead about potential barriers enables proactive solutions and reduces the impact of unforeseen difficulties. Preparing for adversity builds resilience, maintains focus under pressure, and ensures that temporary setbacks do not derail long-term objectives. Strategic planning strengthens confidence in the ability to achieve even ambitious goals. Prioritize goals according to impact and feasibility. Not every objective carries the same weight or urgency. Focusing on high-value goals ensures that energy and resources are allocated efficiently, producing the greatest results with the least wasted effort. Prioritization also clarifies choices when multiple demands compete for attention, allowing action to remain aligned with overall purpose and long-term vision. Develop habits that support goal achievement. Consistent daily actions aligned with objectives compound into significant results over time. Goals are reached not by sporadic effort, but through structured routines that reinforce discipline and capability. Identify habits that directly contribute to progress and integrate them into daily life. Over time, these supportive behaviors become automatic, creating a system where success is a natural byproduct of consistent effort. Leverage accountability structures. Share goals with trusted peers, mentors, or communities who provide encouragement, oversight, and constructive feedback. External accountability amplifies commitment and reduces the likelihood of abandoning objectives when obstacles arise. Being answerable to others reinforces self-discipline, motivates action, and encourages transparency in both successes and failures. Celebrate achievements strategically. Recognizing milestones, completed tasks, and progress reinforces behavior that produces results. Celebration is not indulgent. It is a tool for motivation and reinforcement. Acknowledging accomplishments strengthens confidence, validates effort, and maintains enthusiasm for continued action. Positive reinforcement ensures that momentum continues without reliance on temporary motivation alone. Review and adjust goals periodically. Circumstances, priorities, and insights change over time, requiring recalibration of objectives. Regular review allows for refinement, addition of new targets, or elimination of irrelevant goals. Flexibility ensures that effort remains aligned with evolving purpose and long-term vision, maintaining efficiency and relevance in pursuit of achievement. Develop a mindset of persistence. Goals require sustained effort and resilience in the face of setbacks. Challenges are inevitable, but the ability to persevere distinguishes those who achieve from those who abandon ambition prematurely. Viewing obstacles as opportunities for learning and adaptation strengthens determination, ensuring that momentum is maintained even during difficult periods. Maintain clarity of purpose in decision-making. Every daily choice should be evaluated against long-term goals. This habit prevents distraction, ensures consistent alignment with priorities, and creates a sense of control over life. Decisions become easier when guided by explicit objectives, reducing uncertainty and increasing efficiency in action. Visual cues and reminders reinforce focus. Written statements, vision boards, or digital trackers keep goals visible, providing constant reinforcement and reducing the risk of losing sight of priorities. Physical or digital reminders act as anchors that guide daily actions, ensuring that progress remains intentional and consistent. Integrate reflection into the goal-setting process. Assess successes, failures, and lessons learned to inform future objectives and strategies. Reflection transforms effort into wisdom, allowing each completed step to guide subsequent actions. Reviewing past performance ensures that experience is leveraged rather than wasted, creating continuous improvement and learning. Set goals that are challenging yet achievable. Overly easy objectives fail to inspire growth, while excessively unrealistic goals risk frustration and abandonment. The ideal balance pushes limits while remaining attainable, encouraging consistent effort, innovation, and learning. Gradual stretching of capabilities generates confidence, momentum, and sustained progress. Goals must connect with intrinsic motivation. Achieving objectives becomes easier when aligned with personal meaning, values, and aspirations. Intrinsic motivation sustains effort during challenges, reduces reliance on external rewards, and fosters deep satisfaction from progress. Purpose-driven goals produce energy and engagement that endure over time, ensuring that momentum is maintained even in adversity. Ultimately, clear goal setting is the foundation of purposeful action and sustained success. By defining objectives, breaking them into actionable steps, tracking progress, and maintaining accountability, individuals create a structured path toward achievement. Goals provide direction, instill discipline, and generate unstoppable momentum that transforms ambition into tangible results. Consistent effort, aligned with clear targets, produces measurable growth, strengthens confidence, and empowers individuals to navigate challenges with clarity and focus. Establishing the habit of setting and pursuing clear goals transforms life into a deliberate journey of progress, capability, and fulfillment. Chapter 10. Challenge yourself regularly to expand limits and embrace change. Challenging yourself consistently is one of the most powerful habits for personal growth, because it forces you to confront limitations, expand capabilities, and embrace transformation in ways comfort never allows. Human beings naturally gravitate toward familiarity and ease, but progress occurs when action extends beyond what feels safe or convenient. Pushing boundaries develops resilience, strengthens confidence, and reveals potential that remains dormant within routine existence. Each challenge undertaken is an opportunity to test limits, learn from failure, and grow stronger. The habit of regularly confronting difficulty transforms life from predictable repetition into a dynamic process of improvement and empowerment. Start by identifying areas where growth is necessary. Personal, professional, physical, or emotional domains each contain hidden opportunities for development. Pinpointing where comfort zones dominate creates clarity about where effort should be focused. Growth requires awareness of stagnation and willingness to address it deliberately. Without identifying what limits you, challenges remain random or superficial rather than purposeful and transformative. Set specific challenges that stretch abilities. These should require effort, creativity, and perseverance, while remaining achievable with dedication. Overcoming these challenges builds competence and reinforces belief in one's own capacity. Incremental escalation ensures that each success serves as a foundation for tackling progressively more demanding tasks. Stretching gradually avoids discouragement while promoting steady development. Embrace discomfort as a tool for transformation. Growth rarely occurs in ease or convenience. Recognizing that discomfort signals learning allows a shift in perspective from fear to opportunity. When effort feels difficult, it indicates the presence of potential growth. Becoming comfortable with challenge reduces resistance to change and builds a mindset that values long-term gains over short-term comfort. Take consistent action rather than waiting for motivation. Motivation fluctuates, but disciplined effort in pursuit of challenges creates results regardless of feelings. Establishing a habit of engaging with tasks that push limits ensures progress even on days when energy or enthusiasm is low. Consistency transforms sporadic effort into momentum, making challenges a regular component of life rather than occasional experiments. Analyze the lessons from each challenge. Success and failure both provide valuable feedback. Identify what worked, what did not, and how approaches could be refined. Learning from experience prevents repetition of mistakes and accelerates growth. Reflection after each challenge converts effort into knowledge, increasing competence and adaptability. Incrementally increase difficulty to expand capacity. As confidence and skill grow, challenges should escalate to continue stimulating growth. Avoid stagnation by continually setting goals that require new abilities, deeper focus, or greater resilience. Continuous expansion of limits prevents complacency and ensures that personal development is an ongoing, evolving process. Challenge yourself in multiple dimensions of life: physical endurance, intellectual pursuits, emotional resilience, and social confidence each benefit from deliberate testing. Focusing exclusively on one area limits holistic growth. Diversifying challenges builds strength across multiple capacities, creating a balanced and adaptable character capable of thriving in varied circumstances. Surround yourself with individuals who encourage growth. Engaging with people who push boundaries, challenge assumptions, and model high standards provides external motivation and inspiration. Supportive yet demanding environments accelerate learning and reduce the tendency to settle for mediocrity. Social context plays a critical role in shaping habits and fostering ambition. Develop a mindset that welcomes failure as feedback. Challenges will inevitably produce setbacks and mistakes. Interpreting failure as information rather than defeat transforms obstacles into stepping stones. Each difficulty faced provides insight into capabilities, limitations, and areas for improvement. This perspective reduces fear, promotes experimentation, and strengthens resilience over time. Use challenges to break mental barriers. Many limitations are self-imposed, arising from doubt, fear, or past conditioning. Confronting tasks that feel intimidating disrupts limiting beliefs and expands perception of what is possible. Each challenge successfully navigated rewrites internal narratives about capability, increasing confidence and willingness to pursue even greater objectives. Maintain focus on the process rather than outcomes alone. Growth occurs through effort, adaptation, and learning during the challenge itself, not solely from achieving a predefined result. Engaging fully in the process ensures that skills, resilience, and understanding develop even if immediate goals are not fully reached. Mastery of the journey creates enduring strength and capability. Incorporate reflection and planning for each challenge. Evaluate preparation, execution, and response to obstacles to enhance future performance. Strategic reflection transforms experience into knowledge and ensures that growth accumulates rather than being episodic. Planning strengthens effectiveness and minimizes wasted effort while enhancing the likelihood of success in subsequent challenges. Balance risk and strategy. Effective challenges stretch limits without causing harm or unnecessary setbacks. Assessing risk, preparing adequately, and applying strategy allows confrontation with difficulty in a controlled manner. This approach maximizes learning and growth while minimizing destructive consequences. Deliberate planning ensures that challenges serve development rather than creating preventable setbacks. Track and celebrate progress. Recognize achievements, milestones, and breakthroughs along the way. Celebrating progress reinforces behavior that produces growth, strengthens motivation, and sustains momentum. Acknowledging incremental success maintains engagement, builds confidence, and encourages continued pursuit of higher levels of achievement. Positive reinforcement accelerates the habit of regularly challenging oneself. Integrate challenges into daily routines. Making difficulty a regular part of life ensures that growth becomes habitual rather than sporadic. Simple, consistent practices, progressively adjusted to require effort, compound into significant improvement over time. Habitual engagement with tasks outside comfort zones solidifies resilience, competence, and adaptability as enduring qualities. Seek opportunities outside familiar environments. Change and challenge often arise in unfamiliar contexts where routine skills are insufficient. Traveling new paths, learning new skills, or taking on unfamiliar responsibilities stimulates growth, encourages creativity, and strengthens problem-solving ability. Exposure to diverse situations expands capability and confidence simultaneously. Commit to self-discipline in the face of resistance. Challenges often trigger a desire to retreat, procrastinate, or avoid effort. Discipline ensures consistent engagement and the cultivation of endurance. Persistent effort, despite discomfort, strengthens character and reinforces the ability to take control over circumstances rather than being controlled by them. Use challenges to build resilience in uncertainty. Life presents unpredictable events, and those accustomed to confronting difficulty develop mental and emotional flexibility. Regularly facing controlled challenges prepares individuals to handle unexpected obstacles with composure and effectiveness. Resilience becomes ingrained, allowing navigation through life with confidence and adaptability. Document lessons learned from challenges. Keeping a record of experiences, insights, and outcomes provides a reference for future obstacles and growth opportunities. Reviewing past efforts illuminates progress, reinforces learning, and guides more strategic approaches in subsequent endeavors. Documentation turns experience into a structured roadmap for continuous improvement. Ultimately, embracing regular challenges transforms life into a path of continual expansion, learning, and empowerment. By consistently stepping beyond comfort zones, confronting fears, and striving for growth in multiple dimensions, individuals unlock potential, build resilience, and cultivate confidence. Challenges provide insight, sharpen skills, and fuel momentum toward higher achievement. Committing to this habit creates a life defined not by limitation, stagnation, or fear, but by deliberate action, continuous growth, and the ongoing pursuit of personal excellence. Regular challenge reshapes identity, strengthens capability, and ensures that every day becomes an opportunity to advance toward a stronger, wiser, and more empowered self.